Okay, so we're back and all of my updates are applied. I'm ready to shoot a tethered session through Lightroom. So I'm just going to let you guys watch the TV as I figure this stuff out. So as I mentioned before, I'm shooting with a Nikon D500. I'm using the Tamron 28 to 75 millimeter f2.8 macro lens. Not using the macro capabilities, but this lens is it is doing everything that I want it to do right now. So the setup that I have is I've got the camera, the bottle going being straight on, the background with the light behind it to create that one spot that comes through, and my big diffused softbox up front. Now, I'll probably end up turning the bottle a little bit, but you will figure that out as we get there. So for now, I'm going to let you guys watch the big screen TV while I figure this out. I do have this set up on a remote shutter release, which just keeps me from having to worry about what did I do to move the camera and having to get down there and look at it and get everything set up. So with those first run settings, we're just going to take a crack at it and see what happens when we take a picture. Now this is actually not bad. This is better than I expected. So you can see that I've got a little extra headroom up here at the top, and it's a little bright. It's still a little hot. So what I think I'm going to do is I think I'm going to turn the bottle this way just to get a little bit of depth in there, a little profile, and try to zoom in a little bit so that I don't have the end of this counter looking out at me. So we're going to zoom in just a touch. We're going to move my camera just a little bit so that the only thing in frame is the bottle and the top part of that, the top part of the stand or stool or whatever you want to call it. And now we're going to take a second shot and see how that turns out. So that had an interesting effect. You can see that there's, can't take the release with me, you can see that there's a lot of glare that comes off of the bottle when I turn it that way. That's because it is now facing directly at the light. So I'm going to take it and I'm going to turn it exactly the opposite way and try to put it on the opposite side of that spot that comes up in the background. Then we'll take another shot and evaluate. There we go. That's starting to look almost exactly like what I want, which means that it's turning out to be probably 1,000 times better than I thought it was going to be. Get this spot off the TV. Nice. So this is actually really good. I think I'm going to turn the bottle back towards the camera a little bit. Maybe push it off to the side a little more. But there is something about that background light that doesn't make me terribly happy. So I'm still building this image as we go. And you guys can see that that looks a lot better. I love the angle of that bottle and the image. But I think I'm going to move my table closer to my backdrop and then adjust my zoom level so that I can so that I can get a bit of a different look on this. What I'm really going for here is just the product and the background to kind of interact uniformly with one another. So we'll try it again. And it made the background a little more blurry. I wish I would have ironed this backdrop before I started using it, but this is pretty damn close to exactly what I wanted. Now, you can see that I've still got the curves of the table in here. The back light is still very, very, very hot. So the first thing I'm going to try to do is use a diffuser panel in the SK400 to see if that kind of tones down the light a little bit. So give me a second to drop that in. All right. Now we've got the diffuser panel in there. We'll see how that changes the look of that background light. And actually that helped quite a bit. It's still very, very, very hot right in the center, which is what I would expect it to do. But it toned down the spill of the light. Even though I had that honeycomb in there, this background was much, much, much brighter with the previous image. So let me go back to that previous image. And just to give you the comparison, so it did kind of focus and refine that light quite a bit. Next thing we're going to try is we're going to replace that diffuser panel with a blue gel. And I'm hoping that it brings out some kind of purple in that background. So let's give that a shot. And okay, I lied. I decided that I'm going to use the use the blue gel and the diffuser light because the diffuser gel does such a good job of cleaning up the rest of that backdrop. So we're going to give it a shot again and see what happens with the blue gel. That's actually interesting. Not exactly what I wanted. That's a very hot blue light. I can try to take out the honeycomb and see if that helps. Try to move the light back a little bit. See if a different pattern on there will work better for me. I think what I'm going to start with is I'm going to move the SK400 back from the backdrop. So I'll take you guys with me. And we're going to come back here. And we're just going to grab this whole light setup here, and we're going to move it back. We're still trying to aim right for the center of the backdrop, but I may not have done that perfectly, which means we will have to get in and reset it. We'll have to, if the spot of light, if this blue spot here shows up over here or down here or somewhere I don't want it, then obviously we'll have to move the light. So much like everything else, this is trial and error, but this is in my own studio, on my own time. I have all the time in the world to get this right, so try different things. Try as many of them as you need and make only little changes. When you make big changes, you don't know which one had the biggest impact. So now we're going to see what happens when we move that light back. What I expect is going to happen is this blue circle is actually going to be much, much larger. We'll give that a shot and see what happens. Hopefully it found focus. It did not. So we're going to try that again. Come on. There we go. That actually works a lot better because this didn't get significantly larger. It did, but it softened the overall effect of that blue gel. So now it looks like it kind of fits in a little more. What I think I'm going to do now is actually move that light so that it's coming in at an angle. So instead of going straight on and creating a perfect circle in the background, because people like perfect circles, I like being a little different. We're going to try to angle this a little bit. We're still going to aim at the center over here, but the light is now going to create an elliptical shape or an oval. And we're going to see what this does. So again, between each shot, I'm probably going to make a lot of changes. Well, that's not true. Between each shot, I'm only going to make one change. And either I'm going to like it or I'm not. It's going to give me something to build on, or it's going to teach me a lesson. So now we'll see what happens. We took that shot, and I really like what that did. So if you look here, the blue light goes across in a band, but it's very diffuse, it's very abstract. Now I really wish that I would have ironed that backdrop, because that is, damn, that's a good shot. I don't know what else I can do to improve this. I could probably grab a shot glass, stick it down here. I could try to tilt the bottle in some way. What I would like to do, and it wouldn't work for this bottle, because this is a tequila bottle, tequila being a white liquor, I would like some color in the liquid. And this is just water in the bottle. It's not actual liquor, because why waste good liquor on a cheap photo shoot? But with the colored liquor, what I would end up with is this perimeter here, where it's all glass being clear, and then the liquid just being liquid, being whatever color liquid that is. So I think I'm going to put you guys on pause. I think I'm going to try to find a shot glass and make that part of the scene. And then maybe I'll get some food coloring, and we'll try to do some different colors with the liquid itself. But for a first attempt at product photography, I think this one came out pretty good. Follow me and we'll see. Thank you very much.